Okay, what is your grievance?
I just want to know why you hate single mothers so much.
And what makes you think I hate single mothers?
The way you talk about everyone on your channel,
Okay, and what have you heard? What am I talking about?
you just make single mothers sound like complete scum.
Did you listen to the first 15 minutes of the video?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
Oh my. Megan, I'm not going to repeat it because I already covered it for the rest of the audience. I said in the chat to go back and watch the beginning and you'll understand it. There's no hate. Like, what is the grievance here exactly?
On your other videos that you talk about single moms, you talk about them like they're complete trash. And I'm not a single mother, but I think it's really offensive.
Okay, so what's your position? So why are you actually offended by that if you're not a single mother?
I'm offended because my mom raised me as a single mother. And
Okay,
I don't think you should be talking trash about women who are working hard with what they have.
okay, so what's the trash? Explain the trash part to me.
Some of the other things you say in other videos, you
Like
just
what?
make women sound horrible. Like men are so much better than women. Women are just about fucking you guys.
Can you be specific?
I am being specific. I want to know why you have such a anger and hatred in your heart towards single mothers.
There's no anger, there's no hatred.
That's not what it comes up with when you watch your videos.
John?
So basically, she's just offended because he's just saying the truth, which single moms are not good, suitable partners. That's what it is, folks.
I have zero anger or hatred or dislike for the single mothers that I've dated at all. Even the one that was like kind of crazy and like stood me up and didn't like that I was a good father.
I find
I don't have no problem with them at all, but they're not compatible for me to date. It's not a good option for me to spend time with and put resources into at all. It doesn't, it hasn't worked out, and I don't see a positive situation for me personally.
So let's ask this question for clarity. So, what do you think this hate is?
Well, I obviously think you've been hurt by women, and I know you like to laugh about that, but it's not nice
I was
to.
hurt by the government.
What?
I was hurt by the government.
Well, I'm sure you were, and you guys can have your own opinion on women, but some women are trying their hardest. You know, some men aren't that great to them.
So why are you so offended? Like, I'm confused because if I say something like, "Well, you're far better off dating a woman without children than a woman with children," why is that deemed as hatred by you?
It's not hatred, but some of the things you guys say not you guys, just Richard.
Okay.
Some things that you say are very offensive towards women. Like, you obviously think that men are so much better.
What is offensive?
Well, I've watched a bunch of your videos. I'm not gonna.
You see how she's not being specific. The reason you have to make sure they're specific, and that way you can destroy their argument. To just trigger, because some of those words that is coming out of Richard's mouth are triggering. That's what it is, right? And she's right now testing him, right? So this is a chat test. So she's basically right now testing him to see if he is that kind of man. Let's see if Richard can just surpass the chat test.
I can't remember everything off the top of my head. I just don't get why.
What are you offended by, Megan? That's what I'm asking you. What is it that you're offended by?
Why are you telling men that have children?
Because women without children are better.
That's
okay. Let's hear that one more time.
Date women that have children.
That's what I'm asking you. What is it that you're offended by?
Why are you telling men not to date women that have children?
Because women without children are better.
Boom. That's it. That's it. Close the argument. Just throw the keys, and that's it. That should be the end of the conversation. Anything else? No, but what about this? What about this? I'm not going to answer any other question. You already got your answer.
That's not true.
Why is it not true?
What makes them better than women that don't have children?
I mean, how many single mothers have you dated?
I dated single dads before I got married, and
the opposite.
You know what? Single dads aren't all they're cracked up to be either.
Okay, so a woman without kids doesn't bring the level of complexity to a man's life that a woman with kids brings. You understand that, right?
Sort of, but I just find it offensive the way you talk about mothers.
Well, you're only offended because it's true. People don't get offended if it's a lie.
I don't find it necessarily true. I had a deadbeat father. that you don't go around raw dogging women and making
Wow.
children.
I mean, I'm sorry. Women need to have accountability for who they choose to have sex with.
Yes, that's
Why
correct.
is it
Yeah, I
always a
agree.
guy's fault? I mean, I'm sorry, but like, unless she was raped, like women are in control of who puts their penis in them, and they have options of like 30 to 40 different types of birth control. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, but
that's true.
like that's ridiculous. Okay.
She's just triggered, folks. That's what it is. She's just triggered about the truth. She doesn't like to be exposed because she know all these things are just through her nature. She probably have some idea of what this means. It means that they're exposing probably her own nature. You see what I'm saying? So her nature is that this might be always a backup plan. That if she goes as a single mom, she divorced her current husband or whatever, or boyfriend, she always have that single mom lifestyle, and she can go just get just another dork to take care of her own lifestyle. But that's always a plan B. And these guys are just exposing her nature. And she doesn't like that.
Okay. Like, I'm sorry, that's one of the biggest problems with single mothers is there's no accountability.
What do you
Like
think?
you chose to have sex with a undesirable male that wasn't going to be around and got pregnant by them. And you have 30 to 40 different options of birth control.
Yeah, but
And
how
then
do
if
you
I
know that a
date
guy's
you
not
and,
going to
and
be
I date
around?
you and then we get married someday, like I'm financially responsible for your children now also because of a mistake you made.
So, did your mother take any ownership in this mistake, or was it all your dad's fault?
No,
Good
my
question.
mother takes responsibility as well.
Okay, so maybe I should ask you this question: why do you hate men?
I don't
Mm.
hate men. I have a son. I don't hate men. I love
Mm.
my husband. I have a son.
Well, it
I
seems
have
like
a brother.
resentment towards men and things that I say about
No,
the
I get resentment to people that are talking shit about single mothers. Like
Wow.
some women
uh,
work
uh,
really hard to raise their kids.
it's YouTube, so try to limit the swearing.
Sorry.
Thank you.
That's
So,
boundaries. That's boundary. He's just establishing boundaries now.
my question to you is,
When you establish boundaries, you establish frame, guys. That's very important. That's what he's doing right now. He's basically establishing a frame, right? So understand if you guys haven't read his book, Unplug Alpha, very good. I would just suggest to read it. But right now, what he's doing is basically establishing frame by establishing boundaries. It looks very subtle, right? As an exercise, it looks very subtle, but that is so much important because then she would not go down the rail if she was not corrected. So he just did a good job there.
is you think that single mothers are just as good as women without children, or they're better?
I think I'm a good mother and I'm a good woman and I have
See
children.
that's her.
We're not talking about you because you're married, right? You're a happily married woman.
Yeah.
Or are you looking to get divorced? Like, where
No.
your relationship?
No, happily married.
Okay, so you're a happily married woman with children, but you're offended because I say to guys, hey, look, guys, if you're a 30-year-old man, you're chasing excellence, you don't have any kids, you want to get on your purpose in life, stay away from single mothers. And that's offensive because why exactly?
Because there's women out there that have kids that are single mothers that are good women.
Okay, but a woman without children in tow is a better choice for that guy. So why would he invite that level of complexity into his life?
Good point.
But some men love children. So what's wrong with opening your heart to someone's child?
Let me ask you this question. So you're a mother with a son. So let's say that your son is 25 years old and he says, hey, mom, I got this great girl. She's got 3 kids, 2 of them from different fathers. I'm going to bring them over for Thanksgiving.
Wow.
It depends on the woman.
There we go.
Now
Okay.
it depends
No,
on.
it depends on women because some
Yeah,
women.
sure. This is you see what I'm saying with this? Right here, folks. Right here. This right here, it should be a moment for anybody that's entering the manosphere, the red pill, all this stuff. This interview right here. Watch this interview multiple times and understand what's going on here. She got exposed because everything is good and dandy until it comes around your own life. So basically, the devil just knocked on her own door, and she was calling the devil. And now it's all about the person. It depends this and depends, My goodness, Lord.
Are completely crazy and some women are really nice people.
Right, but let's say your son is dating 3 women, and 2 of them don't have any children. They've got a great future ahead of them. You know, they're all 25. Your son's 25 years old. They've got a university degree, blah blah blah, and he's got this one girl who's got 3 kids in tow from 2 different fathers, who's also 25, who's got a train wreck of a life right now. She doesn't have things together, and she brings drama to the table. Would you be telling your son you should pick that woman with 3 kids, or you should go to Sally over there who doesn't have 3 kids?
I would probably say the girl without kids, but I'm not saying that they're better.
There you go. That's it.
It's not that fun.
No buts on however and anything else. That's it. That's the end of the conversation. Let's move on.
We're not saying the
Exactly.
woman is better.
Better choice.
No, guy. Don't push back now. You MMA guy, don't push back. You said what you said, and you keep as it is.
We're taking all emotion out of it, and we're looking at
Facts.
factual things that are going to happen to your life. Like, you're going to take on more of a load, more responsibility. It's harder work to date a woman with kids.
There's some men that
saying
have
about
do
yourself
it with a married woman.
A woman
Can't
with
hear.
children.
Okay, well, I'm not saying they're better or not. I'm just saying I don't think you should talk so much crap about mothers.
It's just a
Nah, Cooper, you have to say I talk about or what I talk about. She's saying that he shouldn't talk about these things and talk about single moms like that. He should push back and say I talk about anything that I want, however I want, and that's it. Any other question? That's the end.
advice. I have friends who have married women who had children and had children with them. Awesome, great. I don't think any less of them at all. But like, if they were to call me and ask me for advice, I'd say, I don't know if this is the best idea for you. Just being honest, not because she's not a good person or whatever. I don't know anything about that. I'm just saying, just financially, whatever. Are you sure? I'm going to check to make sure they're absolutely sure. Because,
Yeah, that's fair.
some guys are going to be willing to take on the extra burden. Fine, that's up to them. But guys need to understand that they don't have to. You're
Man,
not
she sound like a
forced into that
difficult woman.
situation.
She sound like a difficult woman, man.
And I think a lot of guys feel like they're conditioned into like, you have to date single women.
Yeah,
You don't.
good
You're allowed
point.
to have whatever boundaries you want to. And I think that's the message we're trying to get across. You can decide however you want to live your life. You can decide on whoever you want to date, and it's okay.
Yeah,
So-
that's fair.
Come on, Cooper.
So Megan, are you a stay-at-home mom or do you work?
I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Okay, awesome. So that's a nice job to have. And you got one child, two children?
Two.
Okay.
Two.
And your husband works full-time?
Yeah.
What does he do for a living?
He's a contractor.
Okay, so you've got a guy that's facilitated a life where you can be a stay-at-home mom and raise your son and be the parent that you want it to be. But you chose this man because he could facilitate that. You could have had the choice of another guy, let's say, that was also a contractor but had 3 children in tow from a prior marriage. But you chose the guy that had more disposable income because you wanted that to facilitate your stay-at-home mom lifestyle. Yeah.
Well, I
Oh,
also help my husband with
I have nothing against single women. I
That's
date a
noble.
lot of single women. There's some beautiful single women out there. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that you have to make educated choices as an adult if you want to get great
Good
results
point.
out of life. You have the result that you have right now as a stay-at-home mom raising your son because your husband facilitates that because of his job, because he didn't bring extra drama to the table. You chose that. That was a good choice.
Yeah.
You would probably encourage your son to do the exact same thing when he's an adult. It's got nothing to do with we don't like or we like single mothers. It's a better choice for men that are putting a dent in the universe to not invite that layer of complexity in their life.
Good point.
That's all it is.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough.
You get it?
I get it.
Same page.
Awesome. We're on the same page.
Yeah, F that. She's not in the same page, man. Come on now. She's not. I think a lot of the red pill problem is that they're just allowing females to enter the space. I see a lot of female entering the space, but I don't see a lot of, how can I say this? I see men talking about these problems in entering the space. However, I don't see the other way around, where guys are entering into female space and, challenging these people, because the females don't want to talk about this. They don't understand it, and they don't want to the empathy. I don't know how this is going to end when it comes down to this kind of movement or this kind of thing. Personally, I think we all need to just better ourselves and just really become men. and take responsibilities in really fixing this problem. And we all know that we need to just talk about the truth and just move forward. We need to fix some of the laws that we have in the land already. Especially, we have to bring the religion back, folks. I don't care what a lot of people say, but religion at least establish some sort of hierarchy in society. And as you know, I don't know what happened in the 80s and the 90s, that we just throw religion out of the bus and we thought that we didn't need it. So guess what? A lot of these ideologies that just are very hateful against men, they just came in and just took over. And then we have results like this. I don't know, folks. I'll see you in the next one.